Well, hello everybody. It's Dr. Carmen Bryant, and this is Car Chronicles. How you guys doing? You doing all right? Well, all right. Well, let's do this. So I as you guys know, I did an interview or a conversation with my daughter this past weekend. So I don't know when you're going to get the video, but you can go back and look on YouTube or on Facebook. Her and I had some conversation. We did a broadcast live, and we talked about the experience of, well, when I was in a narcissistic situationship, and she herself, allowed the audience to know that she herself was in a narcissistic situationship herself. And one of the viewers that watched the videos, and I mean no harm when I'm answering the question, I'm just doing it on a public forum because other people may have the exact same question. And I wanted to answer that question on a public platform so that other people can get the answer too. And one of the things that the question is that if she experienced the trauma that I went through being in this narcissistic situationship, why won't she just get out of hers? Why won't she just go? And I teach people, if you watch my videos, never ask a victim, why won't you just go? That's just like asking a drug addict or an alcoholic, why won't you just stop? And they have a substance that they're addicted to, or a person that is addicted to gambling or porn. You can't just tell them, why don't you just stop? Because there are psychological factors that are playing in the background, because when a person is addicted to something, or in a situation where a person is traumatically bonded to a narcissist or to a person, they're traumatically bonded. There is a psychological phenomenon that's taking place. When there is trauma bonds, there is a positive and negative reinforcement in order for the person to be addicted to that individual. You have chemicals, dopamine, serotonin, especially oxytocin. Oxytocin is a bonding chemical. And the best way to describe that is when a woman has a baby, and this is the women that are not non-empathetic or non-narcissist, but when a woman has a baby, she releases oxytocin, especially when she begins to breastfeed and bond with her baby. And that's a bonding agent. Well, that's that same chemical that's released when you're getting addicted on drugs or alcohol or porn or people. And a person, usually, someone that may be codependent, or a person that has their own struggles, becomes dependent on someone or something else to make them feel a particular way. Because people that are addicted to drugs and alcohol are usually numbing pain. They either don't want to feel, they don't want to be in reality. It depends on what that drug is doing. Some people want to go to sleep. Some people want to be really active, and that's your methamphetamine classes of drugs where, or the uppers, that keep a person going until they crash. Other people don't want to feel the pain. They don't want to be in reality, and they may take, things that cause them to be down, or sleep, like heroin and Vicodin and Percocets and fentanyl, those type of things, and be very careful, because people have died over overdoses, but people are taking drugs and alcohol, or they're addicted because that is a dysfunctional coping mechanism. Well, when you're dealing with an individual that is a narcissist, you become traumatically bonded because it's a methodical. Is it methodical? Methodical. I've got how to put the sentence together. Methodical. They use methodology in order to pull that victim in, to have that victim totally 100% reliant or dependent. Think about it, dependent on that narcissist, on that person, that person is in total control of how to make them feel good and how to make them feel bad. And there is a process of positive and negative reinforcements. The positive and negative reinforcements is, when you do what I want you to do, then I will reward you with the thing that you crave the most, which may be attention, which may be affection, love, spending time, buying you things, buying gifts. And that person is addicted to that part. They want that. They want to receive that because it makes them feel good. Well, when that victim does not do what that narcissist wants them to do, they will use that negative reinforcement by raging, calling them names, abusing them, physically assaulting them, taking away their love, their time, their attention, maybe even ghosting them, not even talking to them. Well, that person now is being in this cycle, this constant cycle, that they're slowly becoming addicted to this process, this cycle of, 1 minute you love me, that's why they're confused, and it's hard to get out of the situation. So when a person asks the question, why won't you just leave? It lets me know that you really don't understand, the diabolical part of a narcissist, that is not just about the person, it's about the addiction, it's about the traumatic bond, the cycle. So it lets me know that a person really does not understand what happens, and that you are psychologically affected when you connect with a narcissist. Some people are just insecure, some people are just irresponsible, some people are just, they have narcissistic traits, but does not necessarily mean that they are a narcissist. They may be toxic, they're immature, they're not ready for a relationship, and that's why it's easy I just left, I'll lick my wounds, and, but when you're dealing with a narcissist, it's totally different. And that, that question alone lets me know that sometimes people really don't understand the psychological dynamics and destruction and the psychological effects being with a narcissist has. And so many people live in shame, and they don't want to tell people what they're going through because, number one, you're not going to believe them, because a lot of narcissists are very charismatic. These are the sweetest people that you'll ever run into, the nicest people. They'll give the shirt off of their back. They'll do whatever, but at the expense or at the price of the family not having. They make sure they pay your bills, make sure you have some food on your table, to make sure you got gas in your car. But guess what? The person that they're connected with doesn't have gas in their car, doesn't have food in their house, because all that is over at your house. They're doing it for other people. These are the people that are, they're community leaders. These are people, these are people that are community leaders. These are people that they fight for justice. These are people that don't believe in people being hurt. These are these narcissists will fight for these people. They will give the last dollar in their pocket. But what most people don't know, and that's why it's so hard, because they'll create a smear campaign, as a part of that trauma bonding, create a smear campaign to make you look like you're crazy, to make you look like you have psychological problems. A narcissist can never take responsibility for their own action. They won't, because it breaks that beautiful facade, because they need the attention from people. And a lot of times when it comes to criticism, they can't handle the negative. Now, they can handle the negative fuel that comes from people that, if they're triggering you and you respond in a negative way, they take that, they want that. But when it comes to their image, they can't handle criticism, they can't handle the truth about themselves, because they believe that it's everybody else and not them. And so here you have this dysfunctional person that has a mental illness, and a lot of people argue that is not a mental illness. That they argue that what is it called? Personality disorder is not a mental illness. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is in the Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Psychiatric Disorders. And when you look in there, even though it is a personality disorder, it is a mental disorder. Mental disorder meaning a mental illness. A mental illness, and if you look at what that means it affects every aspect of their life. The way that they think, the way that they relate to people, the way that they interact with people, and the way that they handle you. How is it that one person can be so destructive? Because they're destructive on the inside, they're chaotic on the inside. Can't give somebody something that you don't have. And so when you're talking about, why won't they just get up and leave, is because they are addicted to the person. A narcissist will never be addicted to a person. They're always addicted to the fuel, is what they get out of people. The reactions that they get, the affection, the admiration, they're addicted to that. That's called the fuel, but the supply is the person. The supply is actually addicted to the person and what they're doing. And what they're doing is the positive and negative reinforcement. It's a constant cycle of domestic violence, a constant cycle. If you go look at the narcissist relationship cycle, which is the idealization, devaluation, discard, hoover, start all over again, rinse and cycle. And in that is creating traumatic bonds where it makes it hard for a person to leave a person, because they're addicted to that. And most of them don't think they deserve any better. They may not say it, but it's something that's running in the background. So never ask a person, why won't you just get up and leave? That's an indicator that you really don't understand the dynamics of psychological trauma.